Hello, I am Momita Ash, subject matter expert of for your course Master of Library and Information Science, Course 5 Management of Library and Information Center, Course Module Human Resource Management. Unit 26 Organizational Behavior. This module introduces you the overview of organizational behavior. The main objectives of this course to make student to be able to understand an overview of organizational behavior in organizations and applications of organization behavior skills for managing employees in context of libraries. Learning outcome after completion of this course, the student will be able to develop, understand, and apply organizational behavior perspective. And they are able to identify the different perspectives of working culture in organizations. And they also can understand how organizational performance can be improved through the effective management of organizational behavior. Now, what is organization behavior? Organization behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and structure have on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge toward improving an organization's effectiveness. It is defined by the Stephen P. Robbins. This is very famous person in the field of organizational behavior. Now, what is the origin of organizational behavior? When the study was first started, organizational behavior emerged as a unique field of study during the early 1960s. Though in the late 19th century, it was started in very nutshell, but it mainly flourished after industrial revolution and other studies like Haverton studies and many other management studies in 1960s. It is come very important field for human resource management. It is built upon contribution from a number of disciplines like psychology, sociology, social psychology, anthropology, political science, etc. Actually, organizational behavior is a multidisciplinary study. Psychology is a discipline that has had the greatest influence on the field of organizational behavior as it seeks to understand and predict individual behavior. Most of the psychological theories concerning perception, learning, personality, training, leadership, effectiveness, needs, and motivational focuses, etc., have been applied in organizational behavior for understanding of how people behave in organization and various factors like job satisfaction, decision making processes, performance appraisals, employee selection techniques, job design, and work stress, etc. The discipline of sociology is also concerned with the study of social system and the interaction of people within an organization as a social setting. It studies people in relation to their fellow human beings, group dynamics, organizational culture, organization structure, communications, power, and conflict are some of the areas within organizational behavior where sociologists have made valuable contributions. Have made valuable contribution. The field of sociology and social psychology have added to our understanding of group behavior in organization. The field of anthropology is concerned with the study of relationship between individuals and the environment. Here, individuals is very much important and the main focus point of this organizational behavior study. Groups of individuals living together create body of shared ideas called culture, which is also reflected in their language, beliefs, etc. It also very much affect the organizational behavior and individual behavior specially. Now, what is the goals of the organizational behavior? Why we study it? Mainly four things very much important in the goals of organizational behavior. First, describe what is described now, how people behave under a variety of condition. It is described in the organizational behavior. And next is understand what we should be understand, why people behave as they do. Now predict is very important goal for the organization behavior study. Predict future employee behavior and provide preventive action on the basis of the prediction. And last is the control. Control may be defined negatively, but it is related with the power and very important goal for any management in any organization. How we can analysis organizational behavior? Here we display a diagram. There is the three level analysis. First is main domain is organization level, second is the group level, and last nano level micro level is the individual level. In these three level analysis are done. There are three levels of analysis for conducting the study of organizational behavior. The three levels are like building blocks, and each level is constructed upon the very previous level. These levels are individual level, second is the group level, and third is the organization level. In individual level, events are diagnosed in terms of individual behaviors and interaction in given situation. And group level, the study can be done. The main focus point is the group behavior in a particular situation. And in organizational level, the event occurring within the context of organization structure, and that is your analysis has been. Now, what are the elements of organizational behavior? There are mainly four elements, and it is also in diagrammatically display here. The elements of organizational behavior. First is people in maroon color, and in the now we can see the structure in saffron, and in the green display it environment, and finally the technology. What are the role that play these elements? The organizational behavior involves the study of human behavior within the context of an organization. We know it. So, understanding its elements, it should be analysis. There are four elements. First is the people. People serve as the backbone of any organization, and understanding human behavior is crucial for effective leadership. Second, the structure of an organization. It establishes its formal structure and defines the roles, responsibilities, and relationship among its members. Departmentalization, authority delegation, range of control, and centralization of decision making are all included in this structure, and all are very important for the organizational behavior study. Managers can improve decision making process, simplify communication channels, and maximize productivity by closely examining the organizational structure. Here, the manager role is very much important. Now, environment. The organizational environment encompasses internal and external factors impacting behavior and decision making. Internally, it includes culture, values, policies, while externally, it involves economic, social, and technical changes. That means two factors are very much influential, and managers can navigate these dynamics by thoroughly analyzing their organization's environment. Now, technology is now very much important factor in modern world. In the current digital era, organizational behavior is greatly impacted on technology, and collaboration and information management are being transformed by data analytics, automation, and communication platforms. Organizations take advantage of technological advancement to gain a competitive edge by understanding how they affect behavior and making suitable changes in within the organization. By adopting these changes, companies may improve productivity, optimize organizations' process. This maintains their competitive edge in evolving competitive market and context of market, and position them for long term success in present era. And now, organization culture is very important factor for any organizational behavior. Organizational culture depends on values, beliefs, and behaviors of people of an organization. What they believe and how they behave is very much interrelated. Impact of organizational culture has on individuals and workplace are influenced by mainly three factors: level of organizational cultures, internal factors associated with organizational factor and culture, external factors associated with organizational culture. Organizational behavior, another important concept is the motivation. Motivation is the inner drive that moves and directs an individual's behavior towards satisfying his or her needs and attainment of organizational goal. There are many theories come up in the 20th century, and there is a McGraw's theory X and Y. It is very important. Douglas McGregor, in his book The Human Side of Enterprise in 1960, proposed two distinct assumptions about behavior of individuals in his or her workplace. He referred to these as theory of X and Y. These theories are presented managerial perception of workers. It is actually managerial point of view. The theories has been analyzed. The behavior of the uh, staffs or the workers in an organization. and it is and then content theories of motivation. Under the content theories of motivation, many important theories are there. Theories of motivation, this type of theory help to understand basic needs of the people, which can satisfy their action. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or ERG theory, Alfred's models, McLean's three needs theory, all are very much important. Now, process theories of motivation. This another type of theories, which is also very much important in last 20th century. These theories are more concerned with the cognitive attendants that go in motivation and effort, and more important with the way they relate to one another. What are the theories? Cognitive evaluation theory, goal setting theory, reinforcement theory, equity theory, Victor Vroom's expectancy theory. These theories are come with the evaluation of the concept of organization behavior in context of human resource management in an organization. So management study and organizational behavior leadership is another very important concept. Leaders and their leadership skills play an important role in the growth of any organization. Leadership refers to the process of influencing the behavior of people in a manner that they strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group objectives. A leader should have the ability to maintain good interpersonal relations with the followers or subordinates and motivate them to help in achieving the organization objectives. What is the features of leadership? Features of leadership influence the behavior of others. Leadership is an ability of an individual to influence the behavior of other employees in the organization to achieve common purpose or goal, so that they are willing, cooperating with each other for the fulfillment of the same. Interpersonal process. What are the features we discuss here? First, interpersonal process. It is an interpersonal process between the leader and the followers. It is very interesting study also. The relationship between the leader and the followers decides how efficiently and effectively the targets of the organization would be met. Attainment of common organizational goals, it is another features. The purpose of leadership is to guide the people in an organization to work towards the attainment of common organizational goals. The leader brings the people at the efforts together to achieve common goals. Continuous process. Leadership is a continuous process. It is also another feature of the leadership. A leader has to guide his or her employees every time and also monitor them in order to make sure that their efforts are going in the same direction and that they are not deviating from their goals. Now, the another feature, group process. It is group process that involves two or more people together interacting with each other. A leader cannot lead without the followers. If there are no followers, then what is the function of a leader? The development dependent on the situation. Leadership also depends on the situation. It is situation bound, as it all depends upon tackling the situation present. Thus, there is no single best style of leadership. There is a diagram we present influence of behavior of others, interpersonal process, attainment of common organizational goals, continuous process, and the group process dependent on the situation. All are we already discussed. Now, importance of leadership. Why leadership is very much important for an organization, and why, and also behavior, organizational behavior study. Initiating action, it is the very much important thing in which is the quality of a leader. Also, leadership starts from the very beginning, even before the work actually starts. A leader is a person who communicates the policies and plans to the subordinates to start the work. Providing motivation, it is another importance of a leadership. A leader motivates the employees by giving them financial and non-financial incentives and gets the work done efficiently. Motivation is the driving force in an individual's life. Providing guidance, it is also a very importance of a leadership. A leader not only supervises the employees but also guides them in their work. He or she instructs the subordinates on how to perform their work effectively, so their efforts don't get wasted. Another one, creating confidence. A leader acknowledges the efforts of the employees, explains to them their role clearly, and guides them to achieve their goals. He or she also resolves the complaints and problems of the employees, thereby building confidence in them regarding the organization. And another is building work environment. A good leader should maintain personal contacts with the employee and should hear the problems and shall solve them. He or she always listen to the point of view of the employees, and in case of any disagreement persuades them to agree with him or her by giving suitable clarification. Now, coordination. A leader always coordinate different workers within an organization. Creating successors, a leader always train his or her subordinates as an alternative leadership. Now includes changes. A leader persuades, clarify, and inspire employees to accept change, any type of change. And now the qualities of a leader: personality, knowledge, integrity, initiative, communication skill, motivation skill, self confidence, and willpower, intelligence, distinctiveness, social skills, all are the different qualities of a leader. Leadership, the four other support things is the empower people, lead change, shared vision, inspire people. Now, leadership styles. Leadership styles, the autocratic leadership styles, it refers to a leadership style where the leader takes all the decisions by himself or herself. Democratic leadership style, there it refers to a style where the leader consults its subordinates before taking the final decision. Laissez-faire or free rein leadership style, it refers to a style where leader give his or her subordinates complete freedom to take the decision. Now, management of conflict. Management of conflict is also a very important thing in organizational behavior. Without studying the conflict, management cannot do the management of conflict. What are the types of the conflict within an organization? Intra-individual conflict, frustration, role ambiguity are the different types of intra-individual conflict. Interpersonal conflict. Interpersonal conflict are lose, win-win. And intergroup conflict, organizational conflict. Management of conflict. How conflict can be managed within an organization? Conflict management is the set of techniques required to identify and resolve conflict in the workplace. Since conflict is a normal part of any work environment, conflict management's goal is to detect and minimize the negative effects of conflict rather than eliminating it completely. There are 5 different styles of conflict management that managers typically use when seeking to resolve disputes per Kenneth W. Thomas and Ralph H. Kleeman. These are known as the Thomas Kleeman conflict mode instrument and include accommodating, avoiding, compromising, competing, and collaborating. These 5 parts there. Accommodating this strategy, accommodating strategy of conflict management focuses on one person's needs and prioritizes their side of the disagreement. The person willing to accommodate allows the other person to essentially win. It is used based in situation where one person is not overly invested in their side of argument or does not have the appropriate time to devote to it. With this style, disagreements can be resolved quickly and simply. The negative to this technique, however, is that for more deeply rooted or severe issue, this style may not adequately resolve the issue. A manager may also risk being seen as ineffective. Avoiding Using the avoiding type of conflict management, a manager may simply avoid the issue. The purpose of this technique is to provide time to people arguing to calm down. The issue will eventually need to be dealt with, but utilize the strategy allows tempers to loosen. These could lead to a change of attitude and issues can resolve internally. Similarly, it allows people involved to feel competent enough to solve issues on their own. The challenge associated with this style is that it can make certain issues appear bigger than reality. And if it is used too often, managers can be viewed as incapable or inefficient to manage conflict within an organization. It is not good for the manager. The strategy of compromising allows both sides to win by having both parties relinquish some of their wants for the other person to gain some of theirs. It is not a perfect strategy, but compromising enables issues to resolve also quickly and move forward with production. often both sides will feel understood and relatively satisfied, and it can help people to able to recognize the other side's argument. A few of the negatives with this strategy are that neither side is absolutely satisfied, and certain level of bitterness can develop among the employees. If it is used too often, the parties may not feel as willing to compromise in the future again. Now, another is the collaborative. In a nutshell, the collaborative mode allows managers to acknowledge his or her rival's points and take the time to agree. This is indeed very time consuming and resource intensive, but it can be a great way to handle an issue. It is time taking, but it is positive way to manage conflict within an organization. If both sides have good points and there is no clear cut winner in this conflict, and competing, high assertiveness and low compromising is the classic mode of competition. The workplace is full of competitive people, sure, but in context of conflict resolution, competing means people openly dissent against the other party and directly try to prove that their way is right. Here is a diagram which describes the conflict management within an organization. Now, what are the benefits of the conflict management? Increased productivity, second, improved communication, third, enhanced relationship, fourth, reduced stress and anxiety, fifth, improved decision making, sixth, increased creativity. Now, management of change. Management of change is systematic approach to dealing with organizational change. Here, a diagram describes change process. Three-phase change management process: preparing for change, managing change, reinforcing change. There is also some sub processes, and it helps to develop the change management within an organization. Now, Johari window. Johari window model is used to enhance the individual perception on others. It is a model. This model is based on two ideas. Trust can be acquired by revealing information about you to others and learning yourselves from their feedbacks. Each person is represented by the Johari model through four quadrants or window pane. Each four window pane signifies personal information, feelings, motivation, and whether that information is known or unknown to oneself or other in four viewpoints. It is necessary to improve self awareness and personal development among individuals when they are in a group. The Johari window model is a convenient method used to achieve this task of understanding and enhancing communication between the members in a group. American psychologist Joseph Luft and Harry developing this model in 1955. The idea was derived as the upshot of the group dynamics in University of California and was later improved by Joseph Luft. The name Johari came from joining their first two names. This model is also denoted as feedback or disclosure model of self awareness. The Johari window is a visual framework used to improve interpersonal communication and relationships while promoting personal development. It is divided into four quadrants: open area, blind area, hidden area, and unknown area, where participants categorize personal attributes. The Johari window model is a tool that can be used to help improve self awareness and understanding of others. The model consists of four quadrants: open, blind, hidden, and unknown. The open quadrant is made of information that is known to both the individual and the others. The goal of using the Johari window is to increase the size of the open quadrant by reducing the size of the blind spot, hidden, and unknown quadrant. This can be achieved through self disclosure, feedback from others, and increased self awareness. The Johari window is an ideal tool for improving communication and teamwork in an organizational management. The method of conveying and accepting feedback is interpreted in this model, graphically represented in the slide. A Johari is represented as a common window with four panes. Two of these panes represent self and other two represent the part unknown to self but to others. The information transfer from one pen to other as the result of mutual trust, which can be achieved through the socializing and the feedback got from other members to the group. Open and self area. Here, the information about the person, his or her attitudes, behavior, emotions, feelings, skill, and view will be known by the persons as well as by others. This is mainly the area where all the communication occur, and the larger the area becomes, the more effectual and dynamic the relationship will be. Blind set or blind spot. Information about themselves that other know in a group, but he or she will be unaware of it. Other may interpret themselves differently than his or her expect. The blind spot is reduced for an efficient communication through seeking feedback from others. Hidden area or facet, and third is no unknown area. The fourth is unknown area. The information which are unaware to themselves as well as others. This includes the information, feelings, capability, talents, etc. This can be due to traumatic past experience or events which can be known for a lifetime. The diagram here analysis. Organizational behavior also very much applicable for the library. The mainly for the grievance procedures, direct observation, suggestion box, exit interviews are used for the organizational behavior study of the library personnel and other. Conclusion. To conclude, we may say that study of organizational behavior help to understand organizational culture, conflict, and change. Organizational behavior enables librarian to apply his or her knowledge on organizational behavior in increasing the overall performance of the organization. Now, the time of self evaluation. 5 short questions are there. It obtains 5 marks, and 5 multiple choice questions with the answer key. And there is also few references which help you to study organizational behavior in detail. Thank you.